23 times one player single-handedly won a game. NFL edition. I wonder if LT's on here.
Team sport, 11 on 11. It takes an entire team to work together to become victorious on the field. Most of the time. Today, we feature players who did it all by themselves. Whether on offense, defense, or special teams, these men took over and single-handedly did it all.
You missed all the videos, all the good ones.
At 7-4, the Chargers and Broncos came into Week 13 of the 2002 season needing to stay in the playoff race. So, San Diego coach Marty Schottenheimer...
You see the team. You see the team. You see the first team, don't you? That's what I thought. You see the first team, nigga.
Heimer put the game in the hands of LaDainian Tomlinson.
Here comes LaDainian Tomlinson. Give it to Tomlinson. Tomlinson kicking free again.
I think everybody aware of what a strong and powerful hitter he is.
First and goal at the 3, and Tomlinson takes it in for the touchdown.
Tomlinson touched the ball 48 times.
Look, YouTube, it's the guy who stole my honey barbecue twist. Not necessarily salty. I'm gonna try to make it to where we play in the championship. Hopefully.
Tied for the most in the
48 touches, 271, and 3 tugs.
Single game in NFL history. No other Charger had more than 4 touches that day. This is the definition of single-handedly taking over.
Tomlinson twisting to the goal line.
How good was that? How good was that?
It was like 4 videos.
271 yards from scrimmage accounted for 62% of the team's offense, and he scored all 3 Charger touchdowns.
So 2 penalties keep the drive alive for San Diego, and Tomlinson drives into the end zone. He has the hat trick.
While the Chargers won the game in overtime, they would lose 4 straight to end the year and missed out on a wild card spot.
Stafford with time, one-on-one for Calvin Johnson, lays out, pulls it in, touchdown Lions. Throwing the seam, there's Johnson, and he's got it. Throws, what a catch by Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson made it a habit throughout his career to torture opposing secondaries, earning the nickname Megatron for the sheer dominance he exerted. Johnson saved his best career performance for the Cowboys in 2013.
I remember he gave these niggas something crazy.
The slant. Here is Calvin Johnson. He's going. Calvin Johnson being chased by 4 Cowboys and knocked out of bounds at about the 2 or 3. And here is Stafford's pass to Johnson. Touchdown.
Johnson's 329 receiving
Tyler, pay attention.
yards in regulation are the
most. 14,329.
Ever. Don't forget Flipper Anderson needed overtime to reach the all-time record of 336.
Here's Calvin Johnson with a stiff arm. And this time Stafford going up on top to Calvin Johnson, who makes the catch.
Both offenses scored at will during the outing, but the presence of Megatron proved to be the difference in winning and losing this forgotten classic.
And here is
couldn't be my team.
Pass, and Calvin Johnson stopped at the 1-yard line. The Detroit Lions, no timeouts left. Time is
this was that game.
Reaches over. Touchdown.
Lawrence Taylor is going to be a force in this league.
Yeah, you mine. You mine, baby.
If you're looking for the quintessential LT game, we'd like to point you to Thanksgiving 1982. Never more dominant than on this day, Lawrence Taylor was the difference between a win and a loss that game. And did we mention he missed the entire first half with a knee injury?
I'll tell you who caused that, though, Pat. Lawrence Taylor did.
With New York trailing Detroit 6-0 entering the second half, Taylor would turn into Superman.
Barry Sanders is...
First down, Lions. Here comes the rush by Taylor. And you talk about strong.
Like, look at the crack.
You talk about athletic ability, look at that.
LT made the most of his limited action, imposing his will on the Lions. Taylor's 97-yard pick six was the lone touchdown in a 13-6 Giants victory.
Outside he threw, picked off by Lawrence Taylor.
Damn!
97-yard touchdown interception.
There are some defensive players that are great players. They play well. There are some that are great enough to dominate a game. And that's the type of defensive player Lawrence Taylor is.
It's the Lions, though. It's the Lions.
Jump ahead to 2015. When you think of this Panthers-Giants bout, what comes to mind? Sure, the OBJ-Josh Norman matchup went about as wild as one could.
Yeah, this was peak, like, this was peak fucking cinema right here. Niggas couldn't wait to see Odell versus Josh Norman, and we knew this was, as soon as the schedule came out, we knew this shit was going to be fun to watch. I want to say this was the game where Cam went crazy.
Imagine, but brewing underneath was an all-time Cam Newton game. The 13-0 Panthers at MetLife, trying to preserve their undefeated season. Roll the tape.
The rookie Cameron Artis-Payne is going to be faked to as Newton keeps it. Cam Newton,
fucking
big
ridiculous.
body rolls inside the 20 and out of bounds inside the 5, and a flag comes down. Pass is caught back in the end zone again for the touchdown.
Newton was a one-man show on offense, becoming the only player to ever rush for 100 yards and throw for 340 in a game.
Here's one for Brown. Touchdown. Steeler as well. Pass caught by Funchess. And the rookie is in for the touchdown.
Newton's 5 touchdown passes went to 4 different receivers, and not a single
That's
one
crazy.
amassed over
5?
90 yards. Despite a furious rally by the G-men, Newton kept the unbeaten streak alive. Super Cam's MVP campaign remains one of the most dominant we've ever seen.
5 seconds left. It's up to Gano. The kick is good. The Carolina Panthers win it.
Is it crazy, Hunter, that I don't think Cam would have been that good on a good, like, really good franchise? I don't think he would have been that good, though. Like, I think a team like the Panthers suits him pretty well because they needed him. Like, if he would have went to a team like the Steelers or hold on, wait. Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna make sure I can. Let me hold on. Let me make sure I do it right. Hold on. Give me one second.
If there was any game to define Walter Payton's time in Chicago, this is the one. Before MJ, there was sweetness, and this was the original flu game. Bears quarterback Bob Avellini completed just 4 passes against the Vikings in this 1977 matchup. Playing under the weather, victory was entirely in the hands of number 34.
Following his blockers, trying to turn the corner on the right side, gets in for the touchdown! They've been going to Payton all day. Bob Avellini has passed the ball only one time, and that was to Walter Payton on the flat.
Payton carried the ball 40 times for a then NFL record 275 yards against the vaunted Purple People Eaters. He scored the team's lone touchdown in the outing, and it proved to be enough to squeeze out a victory. Payton's heroic effort helped him win league MVP in 1977.
10-7 becomes the all-time single-game rushing leader in the NFL.
Going into Week 8 of the 2000 season, the Cincinnati Bengals were a putrid 0-6 and on the fast track to having the worst record in the NFL. But when facing the Broncos, Corey Dillon was a man on a mission, willing his team into the win column.
Best players in the world, and here's one of them, Corey Dillon, as he just breaks open the defense of the Broncos and takes it all the way down to the 40-yard line. Now they don't want to, they have 14 yards pass off, and there it is. Corey Dillon, he's gone.
I forgot just how good Corey Dillon was. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I forgot how good he was.
Knockout punch, you're looking at it. 65 yards.
Dillon had over 200 rushing yards in the second half alone, despite Bengals quarterbacks throwing for a combined 34 yards. Since he came out on top, winning 31-21, Dillon finished with 278 yards on the ground, a new NFL record.
But they're in command of the game because of their unbelievable running. Here's Corey Dillon again. And Dillon takes it inside the 20, runs over another guy. He's going in again.
He just made the National Football League all-time record for one-day performance. He just passed Walter Payton, who had 275 yards in 1977 against Miami.
Damn. This 1973 matchup featured Tom Landry and America's team traveling to the LA Coliseum to face the most electrifying offense in football.
Against Dallas, the passing duo of John Hadle and Harold Jackson had unleashed a quartet of lightning bolts that left the Cowboys' secondary in shambles. All day, Harold sped wide open and free, while the Cowboys searched desperately for a way to lasso him, but found none.
Harold Jackson had
Why are the Cowboys on the list so much?
7 of the team's 12 total receptions and caught 4 touchdowns in the first half alone.
Damn!
His 238 receiving yards accounted for 62% of the Rams' total offense that day. LA took this one 37-30.
A quarterback wearing 21 is insane.
But Dallas would have the last laugh, sending Jackson and company home in the playoffs later that year. Let's take it back to 2015 now. If you love offensive shootouts, this game was not for you. The Raiders only tallied 126 total yards against the rival Broncos, yet still came out victorious due to the efforts of superstar Khalil Mack.
Osweiler in trouble. Osweiler brought down.
Nah, I wouldn't use this game for Khalil Mack. It was that one game he had for the Bears where he had like 3 or 4 sacks. He had like 2 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery for touchdown. That was the craziest game. Timber Puppies. They beat y'all? Yes. Man, nigga, what? Y'all up by 30. Yeah, JD, but wait, I'm gonna wait because I want to make it to where somebody plays somebody in the national championship, whether it's me and you or me and Softy. I want to make it to where if I can move the brackets based on the rankings, I want to do that.
Osweiler devoured. It's Mack with another sack.
Here comes Mack, and he's going to get him again.
God,
he got Osweiler for his 5th sack of the game to tie a Raiders single-game record.
Yes, you can. It reseeds by seeding of who's winning. I mean, not reseeding. Who's higher? I could have sworn it reseeds based on the highest and lowest rankings after the first round.
With the Hall of Famer Howie Long.
Mack's 5 sacks and forced fumble absolutely took over the game. Oakland held Denver to 12 points and out of the end zone entirely. This was a sign of things to come for the
Bib, you live there. You're a Thunder fan.
The young pass rusher, as he went on to win Defensive Player of the Year the following season. The Seahawks and Vikings both came into the 2002 season with lofty expectations.
My team ain't on here.
Each came into this Week 4 clash with 0-3 records, desperate to get on track. Seattle turned to Shaun Alexander, and he put together the best performance.
No, nigga, that's not the same.
Performance of his career.
It's the handoff, Alexander into the.
That ain't even your team.
The end zone, touchdown Seahawks.
Blitz coming, Dilfer screen to Alexander. Oh, the perfect call. Alexander breaks the tackle off to the races. Needs a block.
Okay.
Goodbye, Shaun Alexander, touchdown.
Okay, baby. That's all I wanted. I just want to make sure somebody played like it was a user game in the Natty. That's all I want. I wanted a user game in the Natty.
231 yards from scrimmage accounted for over 60% of the team's offense, 5 first-half touchdowns, and 3 in just over a minute.
Handoff, Alexander goes! 5, end zone, touchdown Seahawks! That's 5!
His incredible effort put the Vikes to bed by halftime. This marked the start of Alexander's incredible prime, scoring 82 touchdowns from 2002 to 2005.
Good.
Campbell, he has great speed, and he has tremendous. Oh!
Now this nigga was a crackhead.
Earl Campbell was already the driving force on a Houston Oilers team looking to reach the Super Bowl. His combination of size and speed had never been exhibited before in the NFL. Rewind to Week 12 of the 1978
How you
season.
know that?
A Monday night matchup against Miami put his skills on full display for a national audience.
Oh, ball. Touchdown, Houston. Earl Campbell. What a game. On 2nd and 8. Campbell just out runs everyone to the right. Look out. He's gone. He leads him all the way. Puts his head down. 80-yard touchdown. This is over.
Nigga damn it ran out his jersey.
What you have seen.
I mean, he was good at it, bro. Shit.
Is a truly great football player. In the late moments, take total personal command of a game.
Tyler Rose dominated in prime time, running for 199 yards and 4 scores. Houston would make it all the way to the AFC Championship game on the back of the future Hall of Famer. The 1979 Chargers featured as explosive.
Two of them. Your team can't relate. Just saying.
Offense as there has ever been. Led by Don Coryell, San Diego was by far the top passing offense in football. The Bolts
y'all can't say that about y'all team.
Entered the AFC divisional round as heavy favorites.
How it don't count for
Oilers.
me?
Houston was without starting quarterback Dan Pastorini
still my
and
team.
Star rusher Earl Campbell. Apparently, no one told rookie safety Vernon Perry, who turned in arguably the greatest defensive playoff performance ever.
And bounce to the air.
You right. Y'all right. It don't count. It don't count. It don't count. It don't count. I see. That's why I be listening to y'all now. It don't count. It don't count. Y'all said it don't count. It don't count.
Good protection. Throw it.
Just going by y'all rules.
Deep for Jefferson, intercepted. Vernon
Damn, he had 4 picks. Why was he still in the game?
He's looking at third.
Take Dan out, man. Fuck.
Down the middle for Joyner, intercepted. Vernon Perry. Houston leads 17-14.
That don't count.
By the omnipresent Vernon Perry.
Perry picked
that
off
one don't
Hall
count.
of Fame quarterback Dan Fouts 4 times, which remains a single-game playoff record. His blocked kick proved to be the difference in the 17-14 win, single-handedly willing the underdog Oilers to the conference championship. Second-year quarterback Drew Bledsoe had the game of his life against the Minnesota Vikings in November of 1994. The former first overall pick started the game down 20-3,
it don't count.
only passing for 72 yards in the first half. Starting in the third quarter,
don't count.
He had the offense completely run through his arm, and the final stat line was something straight out of Madden.
This young kid, never lose your own confidence. You're too good. Randall's
it don't count.
There's the 2 guys. He's after it. Touchdown.
Second down and 4 to the end zone. Touchdown.
All right. He's got it for the first time.
Saying the Patriots.
Damn. This nigga was there going crazy.
Abandon the run this outing is an understatement. On the ground, New England had a mere 12 rushes for 42 yards. 3 different receivers caught 10 or more passes, Drew Bledsoe completing 45 of 70 pass attempts, both being NFL records. He'd finished the 94 season as the NFL passing leader.
Bledsoe back to throw. Looks, floats to the end zone. Touchdown, the Patriots win.
The 49ers' 2-decade era of dominance was finally coming to an end by 2000. Jeff Garcia was now the team's starting quarterback, Jerry Rice was playing his final season in the Bay, and the team would not make the playoffs. But in the second-to-last game of the season, a new wideout gave fans hope for the future.
Garcia fires up the middle to Owens. Pump fake, it throws way down the right side. Owens!
20 catches is insane. Dak for MVP. Yo, put the crack down.
Catches it into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Owens.
Boy, is he a big, strong receiver.
And now Terrell Owens.
Damn, Hester! Fight back!
Time receptions in a game.
It didn't matter what coverage you sent his way, T.O. was open. His 283 yards accounted for 62% of the team's offensive
Devin Hester's getting cooked.
Output, more than double Chicago's total yardage. Owens' 20 catches on the day were a then NFL record, but if you ask him, he probably still thinks he needed the ball more. A 2003 matchup between the top two teams in the AFC West was always expected to have fireworks, but nobody could imagine something like this. While both offenses put up over 400 yards, the difference in the game ended up being Broncos back Clinton Portis.
Gives to Portis to the 5, touchdown.
Damn.
Once again, Clinton Portis, and he breaks free. 10, 5, touchdown. Portis looking for the goal line. Touchdown.
Portis' 218 rush yards and 5 touchdowns would give him the most fantasy points in a single game in the Super Bowl era. He put up 161 rush yards and 3 touchdowns in a 10-minute span, effectively putting the game out of reach. This performance was essential in clinching a playoff berth for the season.
5 touchdowns, second most in the history of the game. That is special.
Good God.
Even kickers have the ability to win games all by their lonesome, which is certainly the case with Commanders kicker Austin Seibert. Washington failed to score a single touchdown in their Week 2 matchup against the Giants.
I remember this.
Yet Seibert's right foot was enough to walk out with a win.
Austin Seibert added this weekend from 27 yards away. He's good.
7 for 7 is crazy.
He's now 2 for 2, and that's big. 3 out of 3.
His 7 field goals set a franchise record, and Washington became just the second team in NFL history to win a game with no touchdowns while allowing 3.
And of course,
this would be the team's first win of many on the season. They'd shock the world, reaching their first NFC Championship game in over 30 years.
Kick.
Tired shit.
It is up, and it is good! Washington wins 21-18!
With snow falling in Buffalo, it appeared generating offense would become a challenge for the Steelers. Lucky for them, Le'Veon Bell was not fazed and had the best showing of his career.
Bell breaks one.
God, I miss Le'Veon sometimes, man.
Bell's inside the 40, inside the 30, and down to the 20.
And he hands it off, and here's Bell down to the goal line. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! Le'Veon Bell!
All right, bet.
Goes back to Bell. Bell with an open. Left in. Right into a Bills wall, and he breaks out of it. Look at him go inside the 50. Down to the 40. And out of bounds.
That nigga was just slow.
Bell gonna be that dude that they ain't ready to play today. Keep going.
Ben Roethlisberger had no touchdowns and tossed 3 interceptions, but it didn't matter with Bell doing it all. 42 touches for an insane 298 yards from scrimmage. The next most productive teammate was Antonio Brown with 5 catches. Bell powered the Steelers to a 27-20 win and later the 2016 AFC North title.
A Steeler record 236 yards and 3 touchdowns to go with another 62 in the passing game on 4 catches.
Damn.
Let's throw it back to 1991 now. LT may have been the superstar on the Giants defense, but you couldn't overlook Pepper Johnson at that time. The linebacker had a productive 13 seasons in the NFL and had an ability to take over games himself.
Flag is down. So's testimony.
Damn.
Almost beheaded by Pepper Johnson. Testaverde has now been sacked 7 times. 7.
New York needed every bit of Johnson's fantastic play. Phil Simms had just 100 yards passing, and the run game was essentially non-existent.
They fucking him up.
Not only did Johnson's 4.5 sacks disrupt Tampa's game plan, his interception in the fourth quarter clinched the game for the G-men.
And Testaverde sends it deep left side. Picked off by Pepper Johnson.
Damn. The same exact day Johnson shut down the Bucs, Barry Sanders willed the Lions to a win against their rivals.
The Barry cuts it back to the.
I'm gonna be as respectful as I can. I know Barry Sanders is one of the GOATs, But every time I see a Barry Sanders highlight, it's always this game, and that's about it, bro. I'm sorry. Like, we know he was a human highlight reel, but can we see more than this fucking game? It's always this game. Always.
Right, he's to the 15.
Sanders,
like, no matter what, it's always this game.
Carrying Detroit into relevancy.
I have no clue.
His historic outing
I know
against
it was down.
The Vikings was no different.
Like, I'm not saying this is a bad game. I'm just saying, can we see other games, please?
Touchdown, Detroit. Barry Sanders. This is Barry Sanders. Touchdown, Detroit. Third touchdown of the afternoon for Barry Sanders.
Believe it or not, this was Sanders' only 4-touchdown performance in his legendary career.
It's not crazy.
Despite fewer than 120 passing yards on the day, the Lions' 34-14 victory was an emphatic statement for a team on the rise. They made it all the way to the NFC Championship in 1991, largely thanks to Sanders' otherworldly rushing talents.
First Lion to run for 4 touchdowns in the game. What an afternoon.
And probably the last one.
James Harrison will be remembered for his miraculous pick 6 against the Cardinals in Super Bowl
I was hoping this wasn't on here.
43, yet that is almost doing a disservice to the 4-time All-Pro linebacker. Harrison was a vital piece to a shutdown Steeler defense. In a 2007 matchup against the rivals in Baltimore, he did everything a linebacker could possibly do.
Rush 5. Getting away for a second from Harrison. Now the ball comes out. It's still free. And Harrison underneath pulls it away. And the Steelers have recovered at the 20. The pressure on. McNair brought down. The James Harrison show continues.
James Harrison has another sack.
He beats the tackle, causing another fumble.
Baltimore recorded only 104 yards of total offense in the blowout, thanks in large part to Harrison, who had 10 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and an interception. Pittsburgh's enforcer proved to be more than just a scary face, but a defensive playmaker with the ability to ruin offensive game plans.
McNair throws it over the middle. Intercepted. James Harrison having a game of his life.
3.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and an interception. What does it feel like to put a night like that together?
Feels hard.
Kick here. It bounces at the 25.
Nigga, Orphan.
Get on it. The Bengals have it. Throwing up in the back of the end zone, and it is picked off by Leon Hall. And Duquesne's behind him. Got the ball loose. It's on the ground. Bengals have it. Coming back the other way.
I remember this game.
The Ravens could not catch a break in 2007. The week following Harrison's heroics, Baltimore fell victim once again to a player takeover, but this time to kicker Shayne Graham.
And Graham gives the Bengals a 3-0 lead.
I remember this game.
So Graham for another short field goal try. And Graham's 3 out of 3.
34, 19, 22, 35, 35.
Graham drilled 7 field goals in a 21-7 victory and was the only player to score on either side through 58 minutes of gameplay. Graham remains the only player in NFL history to record each of the first 7 scoring plays in a game.
Damn.
People are thinking 21 points. Wow, 3 touchdowns. No, 7 field goals.
So, we featured some elite passing performances along with defensive master.
That might have been the first video where I didn't pause it 34 times, and I'm proud of myself. I told myself I wasn't going to pause it that much.
Pieces. What if we included both in one game? Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Sammy Baugh.
Get this old shit, man. Get this old shit out of here, bro. This shit was, niggas got off work. Do these niggas have on helmets either? Oh, they got them leather shits.
In a 42-20 win against the Lions, Baugh threw 4 touchdowns.
This nigga had 4 tuds and 4 picks. Damn. Okay. Fucking Superman. Okay, my bad. I ain't mean to goddamn mess you up. Shit.
And intercepted another 4 while on defense.
Yo, 4 touchdowns and 4 picks in the game is crazy.
Something that we can guarantee will never happen again.
I made a promise to myself over pause video 30 times.
And don't worry, Baugh was the team's leading punter as well. Is there any...
Man, this nigga wanted to be me so bad.
Thing that guy couldn't do. When the Vikings drafted Adrian Peterson 7th overall in 2007, the team...
Great video.